As Paul said, this is an 8-year term, so there's lots of opportunities to get done what I'm talking about. And so I'll tell you what I'm talking about mainly because even though I know all of you here will vote for me, I want you to be able to go and talk to all of your neighbors. So it's your family, your friends, your neighbors, your cul-de-sac, your book club, your church, your temple, your mosque, whatever else it is you do, your VFW posts, whatever it is you do, you need to get out. You need to get those people to come out and vote, because if they vote and we get the turnout, we win. And it's just that simple. And if we get complacent and say, oh, we don't need to come out and vote because, Jeff McKay doesn't have a challenger or Kathy Hudgens doesn't have a challenger, then all the other people, it trickles down to everybody else. It trickles down to school boards. It trickles down to the at-larges. It trickles all over the place. And so you really want to make sure that we have everybody out there, and the best messengers for our party are the people who are here with us right now. So we really need to do that. So let me tell you a little bit about what it is I plan to do as the clerk of the court. One of the things that I talk to people about is the fact that we have less access on our portable devices from our desktops to information in our circuit court than people in 119 other jurisdictions in Virginia. And that, my friends, is ridiculous. This is Fairfax County. We should be the leaders in this kind of technology. And the reason we don't have that access is because of decisions that this clerk made. Now, if you would like to have a proprietary system, computer system, which is what he wanted to have, you are perfectly welcome to it. But what you cannot do is take away people's access. And that is what has happened. And we are now 1,000,002 people in this county. And it's the county and the city. So we probably have about 400 square miles. For everyone to have to trek Monday to Friday, 8 to 4, to the courthouse right outside of Fairfax City is absurd. Absurd. There is no reason that the clerk's office has to close at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I like it. Got a fan. And people say to me, oh, no, money, money, money. Well, here's a flash, folks. And since this fella got elected many, many years ago, flex time has become the norm. And I think if you offer people the opportunity to say, hey, if you stay late one night a week, you can come in late. So instead of you having to take time off from work to go to the doctors or the dentist or whatever, you work late one night a week. The security is already in the courthouse. It's already active. The Juvenile and Domestic Relations Court does intake in the courthouse until 9 or 10 o'clock every single night. It's already there. So all you really need is the clerk's office to be willing to say, you know what, we're going to stay open late one night a week. We used to have, or Alexandria used to have, office hours on Saturdays. So there's nothing that says you can't do this. There's nothing that says you can't make this office more accessible to people. The other thing that I talk to people about a lot is, before, what do we do? If you need to research something, what do? You go and you look it up on the internet. If you go to our clerk's website, what you will find is everything is in text. Everything is in English. If you can figure it all out and get to the courthouse and find the right people and make the right calls, you might be able to get somebody to help you in a different language. But we have, and we know this from our school board people, they talk about it all the time. The number of languages currently spoken in Fairfax is enormous. There is no way, there's no little link that says if you need help, with a different language, go here or call this number. Nothing. The League of Women Voters, early on in the campaign, said, how could we help jurors have a better experience? Because a lot of people in Fairfax County, their interactions with the courthouse are for things like marriage licenses, jury duty, notary commissions, being assigned as an executor in a probate. So jurors, it's like 8,000 people who have to serve on juries every year. So how can we make that better? And I looked at the site, and oh my gosh, there are a bazillion questions and answers, all in English, all with PDFs. And I said, this is a big complex. If you've never been out to the courthouse, it's tough. It's tough. If you haven't, if you're not a lawyer and you're not used to how that whole thing works, you'll get lost. And I said to the League of Women Voters, why don't we just do like what Hugh's doing? He's got a recorder right there. You could send Hugh to the courthouse he could take his recorder. You start at the front. There's a big brick sign that says, Fairfax County Courthouse and Public Safety Center. And you start there, and you walk them through. Because there's lots of surface parking lots. So if you come in as a juror and there are all these surface parking lots, and you park in when your car will not be there when you get back, you're not allowed to park there.
Oh.
So let's go down. There are two huge, concrete multi-story parking lots. Well, one of them you can't get into because it's all for employees. It's the other one you got to go to. It's down a hill, around a corner. You take the camera. Here we are. We're starting here. We go here. Here's where you can park. There are a couple entrances to the courthouse. Most people only think there's the one. And we sent somebody over from the campaign early on to try and find information that we knew was in the courthouse. And it took them 40 minutes to clear that main office, that main door. But there's a second door that most people don't know about. So you show them and say, here's how you get in easily. Here's how you find the jury assembly room. Here's what it looks like. Here's what you do. And you put it up there. So for those people who learn better, not from reading, but from hearing and from seeing, those people can see it. Everybody can just follow it. Seemed like a simple idea. So here's what happened. I went back before my recent debate, and I looked at the website again, and lo and behold, people, there is a video on the site for jurors. Now, here's the issue. It's an old video. The information isn't correct. So now we have a video with information that if you're the juror and you're relying on it, it's now wrong. That's not useful. That is not what I meant when I said we should put a video up. I meant real videos with real information on it. So there are simple ways that we can try and make the courthouse more accessible to the people. I call them regular people, and by regular people I mean people who are not lawyers. All right? Make it easier for people to use the courthouse, use the clerk's office. The last thing that I want to say, and this is something that I always talk to people about, is the clerk of the court is your only elected official in the court system. And that goes back, people say, why is this elected? Well, because it's in the Constitution. But it goes back to Thomas Jefferson, who always thought that the government closest to the people is the best government. So if you directly elect somebody, that gives you a level of accountability. Well, the fact that most people do not know what the clerk of the court does and do not know who the clerk of the court is tells you there's no accountability. Because you can't hold someone accountable if you don't know what the job is and you don't know who they are and you don't know how they're doing it. And one of the things that I pledge to people is that during this 8 years, you will see me out in the community, because the way that I will find out that there is something not working in the courthouse is to be out there where people can see me and people can talk to me and people can mention it to me. So you'll see me the whole 8 years. You will be so tired of seeing me, but you will. It will not be a case of waiting to year 8 when I need to campaign and all of a sudden you see me again. I will be out there. So I do want to thank you all again for coming. Please do encourage everybody to get out and vote. It is really, really important. This is the last countywide Republican in office in Fairfax County, and Sue Langley would really like to have that change. So we want to help that and have that happen. And I will, as Paul said, we have never, since 1742, we have never had a woman clerk of the court. And that would be a very nice thing to change. I'm very tired of women or minorities having to say, well, I'll be the first. We need to get past the first and have it be just the normal way of doing business. So thank you all for coming. There's some great